Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. So today what I have for you is a little video about what I think are the best knife purchases I made this year. So these, a lot of them are new this year, and then a lot of them are actually knives that have been out for a while, but I just acquired. So this isn't like the best of the year. This is just the best of what I have personally gotten, and think is pretty cool to look at. So we're going to go through these and take a look, and I'm going to tell you one or two things about them and why I like them. Okay, so first off, let's start off with a really old classic. This is the Chris Reeves and Cozy, which is a fairly old knife, and it's my first Chris Reeves knife, and it is screaming sharp, a little bit hollow grind, and it has that hydraulic feeling to it. It has really oversized bearings. I haven't taken this apart yet. I do want to take it apart just to see what's inside this, but you can see in here just the corner of the washer, super big. Yeah, so American made. Chris Reeves is one of the three original OGs, right? The people who started making really high end quality knives, along with Strider and Hinderer, both of which are represented on this table. So this year I kind of went out and started getting knives that were classics to kind of see what they were about. So that's the first one, the Incozy. Next, this knife has been out for a while. It's by Les George, and it's the Rockey. And this happens to be the Way of Knife edition, which means that it has the midnight blue scales and the Albemarle button. And this knife is a hoss. It's a boss. It's really cool. It's CPM D2, which some people have a problem with. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, especially not for the price point. I think this was like $250, something like that. So this is a really cool knife, and it's one of the knives that people often make a comment on when I post a video about it. They like, I want that knife, and I agree. It's a freaking cool knife. And next, talk about the Redencion. So this guy has the kickstop. So old design, but new deployment method. The kickstop, if you don't know, is a little lever right here. And you see that usually with a flipper. The flipping tab would come over here, but this kicks it closed. And this is a frame lock. It's got the Chavez blackout here, and it also is murdered out, blacked out totally across the whole thing. Hollow grind. It's a beast of a knife. It weighs a lot, and it just brings me joy. This is just a really cool knife. Like 13-year-old me would have loved this knife, and older me still totally appreciates it. It's a really cool knife. And then let's talk about one of the other OGs, and that's the Hinderer. I got this Hinderer Eclipse with a finger choil here. Not Eclipse, sorry. This is the XM18, the Sponto blade, and S45. I'm really appreciating S45 more and more. It is a really good steel. I had problems with Hinderer when I first got it. I didn't think I would like them. The first Hinderer I got was actually the Eclipse here, and you can see that I've gotten a anodized titanium scale for it here. This doesn't have the forward finger choil. It has 5 different kinds of hardware on it, and later on someone told me, well, the reason why they do that is so that it's much harder to fake and to come up with a counterfeit knife, and I totally get it now. The action on it is great. It drops shut. It has a metal insert for the lock bar tab. It's built like a beast. It has 4 giant spacers on the back. Just really cool. So the Eclipse and then the XM18. This Eclipse is Magna Cut, and this is S45, and I appreciate both of them. They just are amazing work knives, and one of the 3 OGs. So just learning more about knives, definitely important to know your history, and that is definitely a part of it. Why don't we finish up with the other one, which is the Strider. I don't have a real Strider. I have a Protek Strider, which is a very cool knife. Oof, that action is incredible, right? I mean, so if you're going to get a knockoff, well, this isn't a knockoff, but if you're going to get like this has all the characteristics of a Strider: the high choke up point, the blade, the way the ergos work. It looks like a Strider. It's really cool, but it's also combined with the fact that it has that amazing action from Protek. Really cool. I've been looking at Striders. They're just too expensive for me. I'm just not going to get one unless the right deal comes along at the right time. Let's talk about a budget knife. So this is, I think, $47. This is from Magurin. This is the Centurion. A freaking awesome knife, mill titanium. It just goes to prove that you don't need a large budget to get a really cool knife. And this is a really cool knife. Has very sharp behind the edge, although it gets thick at the spine. Great access to the liner lock, the tab, the action, everything is really cool on it. It drops shut perfectly. I mean, yeah, awesome, awesome budget knife. Next, Django by Kunwu. So I kind of got two Kunwu knives this year. One was this one, and the other one was the Pulsar. This is the Django. Polished DLC blade. Feels really nice. The machining on this is incredible. It's got multiple different ridges and lines, and it's just really super cool. Looks amazing. Crossbar lock. Just really, really cool. And LMAX steel, super, super sharp LMAX steel. And this polished DLC does not scratch. And I actually stropped this, and the stropping did not affect the DLC on this at all. Like usually if you have a DLC blade and you strop it, you'll start to get some dullness. Well, this has already been polished, so it doesn't do anything. It's just really cool. Kunwu's hitting it out of the park. This knife hits way above what it costs to get. Next is the Hog Deca 2. Absolutely love this knife. I did a lot of customization on it. By that I mean I like polished the bearings, I opened it up, I changed the scales, I got a new really nice lynch clip for it. This is Magna Cut. Cost $130. Really good steal for that, not including the extra stuff that I got for it, but it looks really nice. Crossbar lock, great ergos. It's just a cool work knife. I like the reverse Tonto. It's just very cool. Another Protek that I got this year was this guy, the Ultim Scale guy with the Protek. This is the SBR, short-bladed rock guy, so it makes up this pair here. It's shorter. I got an Ultim Scale for it. I like Protek a lot, and I like getting some of the more limited edition ones of theirs when they do a run. Again, great same action. This is S35, which is another great knife steel that I think is highly undervalued or underappreciated. It's just a really cool steel. Then I got a personal grail of mine this year, and that is the Sea Otter, which is a plain Jane. Almost looks like it came out in the early 2010s or something like that. But Ray Laconica, one of my favorite designers, the way that the finish matches the blade and the scales is all really good. There's some things that I wish were a little bit different. Like I think that we could have had a nicer knife clip on that. And I think it could be reversible too. But other than that, very cool. And this is the Magna Cut version, and you know, it says there, right there, hidden away where it is. Nice thumb studs, great action, frame lock. I've always wanted one of these, and I was very lucky to get one on the lottery. So I'm very happy about that. What else? So I got two more knives here, and one of them is the Scythe. This knife really surprised me this year. I had the original one that was the brown black one, and I got this mountain scaled one, which was a Smoky Mountain exclusive. But it actually, I use it all the time for gardening and other things. And the action on it is great. You just kind of flick down hard and it comes out, and the blade shape is super, super cool. It's just a cool design. 154 cm. They're coming out with a high-end version of this and an XL larger version of this, and I'm looking forward to seeing those as well. So, and this the original version was only like $50 or $60, and this version was about that too. And then finally, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Winters came out with a Mirage this year. I already had the Factor, which is a freaking phenomenal knife. And I think, and totally, what makes this really cool is it's totally magnetic. It has a tritium vial in there that I put in there. Very cool. It makes an awesome sound when you open it. So he came out with this guy, which was an assisted knife. And it's, you know, it doesn't spring out of there real fast, but as soon as you push back the button, it just comes out. Very cool. the combination of the fiberglass and the titanium is really cool. And the way that he's done his pivot here, also very cool, and very nice pocket clip. I've already in on his next pre-order. Yeah, I just love Brian Winters, someone I'm going to follow all the time. So those are my pocket knives. I'm going to do another version of this just for fixed blades as well, because I happen to get into fixed blades this year. But these knives here represent, I think, what the best for me this year of things that I got. And I really, really like them so much. Let me know what you guys think and what's the best knife purchase you made too. I'd really appreciate it. And if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. And if you want to become a Patreon member, get exclusive content, and be entered to win a knife every month, go ahead and follow the link down below. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.